Thought I'd jump on the thread of showing 10 albums with the artist and his guitar on the cover. This thread was started by James Griffith, and I saw one today by Kibler, and thought I'd jump on it as well. And I also saw one by Randy as well. I forget his last name, but anyway, so here's some I came up with. This is Mance Liscum, Texas sharecropper and songster, right there. It looks like a blues album, and it basically is, but Mance Liscum described himself as a songster. That's in the title there. And songster was just somebody that played within the community, probably a field hand. And so I imagine whenever they took a break or whatever, or whenever they had some free time, that he would play for the community, probably a small community down in the South. And yeah, he also played along with blues. You might hear something like ballads, breakdowns, reels, shouts, and other, type music within his things that he would do. So yeah, Mance Liscum. It's on Arhui Records. This is Al Di Meola. This Black Les Paul here. This is Electric Gypsy, Elegant Gypsy. And this used to be big back in the day, back in the, I don't know, like late 70s or early 80s. It says 1977. And yeah, kind of a fusion. I would say this and his first album was probably his better two albums. But yeah, Elegant Gypsy by Al Di Meola. Lonnie Mack. Here he's holding his guitar upside down, which you can barely see. It's a flying V. This is called The Wham of the Memphis Man. And sort of blues and blues rock, that type thing. You can see a better picture of his flying V right here. And so, yeah. This is the only album I have by him. I don't know if it's his best album or whatever, but it's a pretty good album. Ronnie Earl. I Like It When It Rains. He's a more modern blues guy. Not quite like Stevie Ray Vaughan, but Stevie Ray Vaughan may be the closest maybe to his style. Playing a Stratocaster here. Here's the back of it. But it's a pretty good album. This is on Antone Records, I believe. Yeah, out of Austin. Right there. And yeah, like I said, pretty good album. Robert Cray. Friendly Persuader, Strong Persuader, playing his Stratocaster as well. He was pretty big back in the day whenever this came out, 1986. And yeah, what was his song on here? I'm not sure that the song from the radio is on here, but yeah, he was a big performer back in the day. I remember hearing him on the radio and everything. Everybody's Rockin' by John Lee Hooker. Sort of an acoustic blues artist. Says Everybody's Rockin'. This has been John Lee Hooker's message since his first session in 1948, which produced the million-seller Boogie Chillin'. He carved himself a niche in the highly competitive rhythm and blues market with his uniqueness. His style is a combination of Mississippi blues, coming to terms with the brash city life, There was little subtlety attached to his voice, full of menace or sexual boastfulness, ferocious guitar solos, and hypnotic rhythm patterns. So yeah, John Lee Hooker. There's the back of it. This is on Charlie Records. This is Clarence Gatemouth Brown. Name of the album is Pressure Cooker. This is unusual guitar here. I don't know what style that is. It kind of looks like a Firebird, but it may not be a Firebird, but it looks like a Gibson anyway. Yeah, here's the back, which shows that it is a Gibson right there. But as you can see, Electric Blues. This is on Alligator Records as well. Came out in 1987. Since the last few years, Clarence Gatemouth Brown has finally gotten what he deserves. He become one of the best known and most honored blues musicians in the USA. He won a Grammy Cut Award-winning album for Rounder and MCA labels. Just goes on to talk about a little bit. Says his hard rock and Texas guitar style was temporarily out of fashion. His music was just too urban and jazzy for the younger generation of raw blues fans. Gate was living in New Mexico, seldom touring and playing mostly local country bands. He played great country too. Like many bluesmen of an earlier time, Gate, though still in his 40s, was a prophet without honor in his own land. Yeah, like I said, this is on Alligator Records too. Right there. Michael Hedges, got to see him live there in Dallas. Watching My Time Go By. Really excellent acoustical guitarist. Here's a neat picture of him playing on the guitar when he was a kid. So he started early. This is on Windham Hill Records. But yeah, I love the way he plays and sings. Let's see if there's any songs on here that I recognize. Sometimes he'll do a holiday. Yeah, he does a copy of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower. So yeah, Michael Hedges. And then the last album is supposed to be a cool guitarist that we really love and that you admire. I like everything I've shown actually, but these last two, if I could play guitar myself better than what I do, which is not very good at all. If I could play guitar like any of these two guitarists here, I'd be really happy. This is Pat Metheny's New Choctaw. I think I'm pronouncing that close enough or right. But you can kind of see in the strange double imagery here, which is probably done the same session as the back part of the cover, which I'll show. But all kind of acoustic jazz music. This is a picture of the guitar. Really excellent album. I've listened to this album all through the years, and along with many of his others too. I have, I don't know, 10 or more Pat Metheny albums. This tends to be one of my favorite, along with a couple of his others. But yeah, solo album by him, just him on guitar. Let's see, am I saying that right? Well, it says Pat Metheny, electric 6 and 12 strings, acoustic guitar, 15-string harp guitar, and electric bass. So he plays all the instruments on here. Then the last album is Intercontinental by Joe Pass, another jazz album. Joe himself has put out a lot of good albums too. Really, really love the way he plays. It's a nice picture of him here on the back. Played sort of a big box jazz guitar. The picture on here says Gibson, but I think he's also played some other kind of guitars as well. There was another guitar, I'm not going to be able to remember it, that he also plays, but yeah, jazz guitarist, really good. There's some covers on here, but there's also a cover on here by Bobby Gentry, Ode to Billy Joe, and probably some other ones as well that I don't recognize as well, but Joe Pass plays guitar on it, Eberhard Weber plays bass, and Kenny Clark on the drums. So there you go. There's 10 guitarists showing their guitars on the cover. And yeah, that's part of August. So hope everybody is doing well. We'll see you later.